Not pretty. I would tell you in last 30 years there were only 2 years of raiding. Most of the time we were profitable. So when there was raiding, we definitely felt bad, and there was definitely a lot of pressure because we had grown to a level. At that time, we were, let's say, about 40 or 50 crore company, and if we lose 3 or 4 companies, the banks would come calling. Let's remember very clearly, if you have a lot of debt from banks, banks are fair weather friends. So they would come calling whenever they see you in difficulty. So make sure that you rely as less on debt as possible.
I mean, like some other company, is available to, means he is able to give the same product at a lower cost, then the market will tend to buy their product. So some difficulties like that.
Yeah, it would happen, and in fact, in the current situation also we are finding, very large companies, they sell at very low prices just to keep their factories running or to keep their market share. So those are the strategies, strategical moves. Sometimes we make, sometimes our competitors make. It's all part of the game.
So how you hold your position into market?
So you have to selectively win orders, selectively let some go. You can't run after every order because you want to protect your overall bottom line. So you let some orders go, get some orders where you are. See, this is where strategy plays a very important role. If you know that in this market you are strong, here you have customer preference, and then you can earn a little more. And to maintain your overall volume, you may have to take orders at lower prices in some other market.
Sir, what were the changes that came after Hitachi and HAL came together? What were the benefits that HAL got?
Okay. See, there were two reasons mainly why we decided to join Hitachi. Number one, we wanted a much larger product platform. We had grown to a stage of almost 150 crores turnover, and when we want to grow beyond that, and when we want to be part of an international group of competitors, we needed a continuous source of technology. We could have developed and we could have remained a pure industrial UPS player and really continue to be profitable. But then you are subjected to a lot of ups and downs, and cyclical nature of the economy would hurt you badly when you are at a larger range, large volume player. So expanding our product basket was very important, and that is where a company like Hitachi was a very good partner. And second was expand the market footprint. That was very important. On our own to develop export market would have been very difficult. Now we are in the phase of expanding our markets all over the world. And third thing I would add is the solidness of the company. Once you have a name like Hitachi with you, I think your customers, your vendors, your bankers all look at you with a different level of respect, different level of, and then one good thing leads to other. That's what happens.
So I want to ask that initially, when you thought of starting a company like this, so when you are looking for hiring someone for making a core team, so what are the qualities that you are looking for in those guys, and how did you hire those guys initially?
I don't remember, to be honest, but okay.
Very old.
But I think in those first few years, most of the at least managers and engineers were from Ahmedabad only. and we had a very limited choice available actually. Ahmedabad was always short on talent as far as engineering department was concerned. But so good, devoted, seemingly hardworking people is what I was looking for. And it so happened, because I used to spend, and many of us used to spend 12 hours, 13 hours, 14 hours a day. Those who could not spend, they resigned and went some other pushy jobs. So those who remained with us are all totally devoted people, I would say.
Sir, in the startup, you start up with a few people. You have to sit into various roles. You have to look at the marketing, you have to look at the sales, purchasing. How is your experience looking at these different ways, being the same person?
Very good. I see my previous experience running a factory in Bangalore, though it was small, had given me a lot of experience of running all departments. And after doing that, when I came here to start this company, since it was full family support, and as I said, our running business was there, of trading though, but administrative support I could get a lot from my. So I had decided that after I come back and start this, I'm going to remain focused in technical matters, production, purchase, selling, but not in administrative matters like excise and sales tax and blah blah blah. Because I had done that earlier, so I knew exactly what each department wanted, and but we hired people to do that job, and I guided them. I had decided that I'll never go to an excise office, I'll never go to a sales tax office, and believe me, in last 30 years, except once or twice, there has not been a need for me to go to any government office like that. And because we had decided that we want to remain very methodical, very systematical in all our records, so that I don't need to go to such offices. But administrative support I had from the group of companies that was.
Just to add on to that, how do you control the cash flow of the
It-
you had 25 lakhs sales.
It happened sort of naturally, because we could if I recollect, at that time, because we were a group of companies and it was all family, there was if I required for a short term, I would get some support and then pay it back. But that happened for first 2 or 3 years.
So you did mention about sales and marketing, which is one of the keys to the company. So can you share some of the initial problems and strategies?
I'll tell you a very interesting story, very short. In the year 1987 or 88, I remember I went to one of the very prestigious companies in Pune, a company called Century, which was part of Birla Group. They were one of the topmost polyester yarn manufacturers. And polyester companies were one of the largest customers of variable frequency drives. So I went in and told them, convinced them. Their engineers came and visited our factory. They saw our factory. Then I said, they asked me a question that, why should I buy from you? What guarantee do I have that 3 years from now you would not exist, and then who would support the equipment that I'm buying from you? And then I said instantly, almost, I said 2 reasons why you should buy from me. One is, as you see, we are not part of a very large group. We are totally devoted, dedicated to power electronics business, and this is my bread and butter. I don't have any other things, so I will definitely remain here. I don't have anywhere else to go. And second is, I said, if you give me this order, my chances of survival will improve. So and believe me, they gave us that order, and it was really very fruitful order. Yeah. Another thing I would say, we are manufacturing variable speed drives, and when we started UPS, selling the first few products, any new product is always a challenge. So I remember Times of India, Bombay was one of our first customers for UPS. And me and my Bombay sales person, we went around and they said, we want to see your installation somewhere. And we said, we don't have any. So what we said is we concocted a sort of story. True. We took this customer to see some of our variable speed drive installation. And we said, look, variable frequency drivers, so AC gets converted to DC, DC gets converted to AC. It's a variable frequency, so more complex process. In a UPS, it's only the battery that is added extra. It's a passive element. So it's a much simpler product that you are buying. We have done more complicated products. So you will not have a problem.
Oh, good answer, very good answer.
Anyway, these are, but as you get involved, you will innovate for yourself. You all are very clear.
So when you started out and had a very limited amount of capital, how did you prioritize what you would spend on and what you would not spend on at the initial stage?
Come again, sorry.
When you were starting out and had a very limited amount of capital, then how did you prioritize that you would spend on certain things and not spend on other things?
We did not spend on any fancy facilities. We are very simple about, let's say, 15 or 20 people workforce. And our basic priority first was to get orders, then only you can manufacture and start getting the cash flow in. So I personally spend a lot of time once I had reliable technical people, then spend a lot of time in sales and marketing. I spend time creating business partners in places like Delhi, Bombay and Bangalore and Calcutta and Madras, Coimbatore, all those places. So, and that sort of gave us a wider access to the market and we got more orders. In the initial stage, we did not have all our own sales people at all these places. We had business partners. So that was a variable cost then. So if they got orders, we give them money as commission, so that it was not a fixed cost to us, it was a variable cost. So I think as I had said right in the beginning that we were working on a concept and not as a product that was widely installed. So to do sales and marketing and to spend money initially on that was very vital, and that's what we did.
So in the initial stage, as you were had limited means amount of money, so how fast was your decision making cycle and how fast do you make iterations and pivots?
My decision making cycle has always been very fast, very quick. Because I did not have to really consult a lot of people at the top. I used to consult my colleagues actually, who was one was the technical expert, other one gentleman was a sales expert. So 2 or 3 of us used to sit down together and make decisions.
And sir, how did you measure your progress? Like, because large companies measure by profit and loss statements, but your company was initially starting. So how did you measure it on basis of your profit and loss, or do you measure on the basis of customer development, the customers that you're getting?
I still do it. Sorry.
So actually, sir, big companies really measure their metrics by the amount of profit and loss. But a startup initially, so you were measuring it by profit or loss, or you were more focusing on the customer development rather than thinking on
Customer development initially was the criteria, because that only would lead to long-term sustainability and more volume. Profit would follow if you do sufficient volumes and meet your overheads and then still create a surplus.
So, did you start up with a business model? Like, who will be your customers? What channels will be providing? What segment will be targeting? All that stuff?
We were not so systematic and methodical in those days, because as I said, in our first product, I was we were selling, trying to convince customers. So we knew, and I knew which are the industry to attack and go like chemical, petrochemical, and material handling. Those were the industries those would buy. So we went more after them. I remember, one small 3 HP drive we had sold for 37,000 to IPCL in Baroda, and that was for a polypropylene plant where the silo, the material gets gathered, and then there was a very good speed requirement there. It was such a small equipment, but head of that plant, once we supplied, became a very good friend. Even 25 years later also, he remembers, which way you had done this? I said, yes.
So make your customers your friends.
So when you started this, it was a new technology for India, right? So did you start manufacturing first, or did you get clients and then start manufacturing?
No, we started manufacturing. See, as we are confident we would get business, so we had to start even without order, get the materials, get assemble. First of all, it was important to test the technology that we had purchased. So we had to build a few prototypes of different ratings. Let's say from 5 horsepower to 75 horsepower, different ratings. We built those prototypes, and concurrently we did sales and marketing efforts. So we were successful in getting orders.
So isn't there an element of risk involved with the
Definitely, but how do you test the technology that you purchase? See, anything that, suppose you have your own concept. For testing your concept also you have to invest in some prototypes. So prototypes are always to be built, whether you buy technology from outside or whether it's your own concept and your own technology.